Hi, and thanks for joining me for this little yoga asana practice. Little reminder, if you enjoy the practice, don't forget there's heaps more on the channel, and it might be a good idea if you haven't already done so to subscribe, not describe, to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell just so that you know when I've added new stuff. As always, remember in this practice to listen to your breath, to listen to your body. We want to try and find the balance between effort and ease, so doing enough to stay focused on what we're doing, to remain present, but being gentle enough to not add stress on any level, so physical, mental or emotional. And remember, if you're getting frustrated when you're practicing yoga, you're not really practicing yoga at all. So just be content with whatever feels appropriate on any given day. So we're going to just start nice and simply in child's pose, kneeling and stretching forward. You can separate the knees a little bit if you'd prefer. And just let the body move down towards your mat. And if it's comfortable, rest your head on the mat as well so you're not tensing the neck. See if you can create space around the neck by rolling your shoulders out. And as the hips sink back towards the heels, just start to walk the fingertips forward. Try to keep your hands a good shoulder width apart, which will also help to relax the back of the neck. After your next out breath, you might like to bring the left hand onto the right and just see if you can lengthen the left side body a little bit more. And again, after another slow breath, always breathing through the nose, come back to the center. And then go the other way. So here we're lengthening from the right sit bone through the side of the waist and ribs, through the shoulder and armpit, right out into the hand. And again, after breathing out, just make your way back to the center. Take one or two more breaths here. And after your next calm exhalation, walk your hands back in. Bring the knees together. And then tuck the toes under, and just for a couple of breaths, sit back on your heels. So with toes tucked, we're stretching the soles of the feet. Just place your hands on your thighs and give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. So trying to be nice and circular with that movement. Go back the other way. And then coming back to the center. As long as your knees will allow, and there's no other reasons not to, see if you can take the feet maybe a little wider and sink back into a simple squat. So we're trying to keep the feet roughly parallel and heels down. If you need to take the feet wider, you can, but try not to turn them out too much. And you can just use your arms to help counterbalance the body if you're struggling with that squat. And if you're very comfortable, sway your body a little side to side. Give yourself just one or two more breaths here, keeping Mula Bandha gently engaged, so pulling up through the pelvic floor. And after your next out breath, just lift the hips and let the body hang forward. So again, we want the feet comfortably hip width. If you can, let the hands rest palms up on your mat. If you're really tight in the backs of the legs, you can bend your knees a little bit, or you might just prefer to place the hands on the shins or the knees. Just make sure you're not straining the lower back at all. If you're comfortable here, roll the head side to side and gently sway the body. And trying to let go of tension or effort. And taking one more calm breath here. And after breathing out, bend your knees and press your hips forward to stand. Reach up into the fingers as you breathe in. And interlacing your fingers, press up through the palms as you breathe out. Then look to the right as you breathe in. And as you exhale, take the hands right and the ribs to the left. Try and lengthen the left side. And come back up to the center, reach the arms up and look to the left. And as you breathe out, take the hands left and the ribs to the right. Again, come back up, reaching the arms high as you breathe in. And with your hips still facing forward, turn your upper body to the right. Come back to the center as you breathe in. Keep reaching up high and press the left hip forward as your body turns to the left. Then come back to center. Pull the elbows back, look up if it feels okay, and bring your hands gently down onto the thighs. As you breathe in, take the left arm up and back, the right hand down your leg. And come back to where you started as you exhale, and then go the other way. So right arm up and back, reaching through to the fingers, left hand down. And release, and breathe out. And overlapping your thumbs, reach the arms high as you inhale, and fold the body forward and calmly breathe out. And as you breathe in, circle up to the left, making a nice smooth circle. And as you exhale, come back down to the right, trying to synchronize movement of breath and body. And go back the other way, circle up to the right, try not to race through the difficult bits. And then gently exhale all the way down to the left. Bring the body up, reach to the hands, raise the chin, stretch the throat. And bring your hands gently down as you breathe out and step to the front of your mat. Take a moment there just to relax the shoulders, press down through the feet, keeping the feet together. And after you breathe out, bring the backs of the hands together, reach the arms up and maybe back as you breathe in. And fold forward to your comfortable capacity, hands to knees, shins or mat. Lift the collarbones, take a smooth breath in, and with hands to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. From there, move forward into plank as you breathe in, and lower the body to knees, stomach or push up, and exhale. Take your version of up dog, which might be lifting chest and hands or chest, hands and feet, and then press smoothly back into down face dog and exhale. Take a calm breath in down dog and see if you can relax the neck and press the chest towards the toes. And gently raise your heels, look forwards and breathe in. And bring the feet to the hands, walk, step or float. Gently exhale. And bend your knees, press the hips forward, reaching up and back and then inhale. And second cycle, fold forward and calmly breathe out. Lift the collarbones, pull the shoulders back as you breathe in. And hands to the mat again, step back into downward facing dog. From down dog, move forward into plank. And lower to knees or stomach or push up and breathe out. Take your version of up dog. You might take Bhujangasana on the elbows or on hands. And then press back into down face dog and gently breathe out there. And again, take a breath in down dog. You might like to just give the hips a little roll. Then raise your heels, look forwards and breathe in. Bring the feet lightly to the hands, walk, step or float. Bring the backs of the hands together. Reach the arms up, stretching through to the fingers. Look up if it feels okay. And third cycle, fold forward and calmly breathe out. Lift the collarbones, pull the shoulders back, lengthening navel to throat as you breathe in. And then with hands to the mat, step back once more to downward facing dog. Move forward into plank and gently inhale. And lower the body down, knees, stomach or push up. Take your version of up dog, pull the shoulders back. And then make your way gently back into down face dog and exhale. Take a calm breath here. Lift up through the tailbone, but press down through the heels and the hands. Then gently raise your heels, look forwards and breathe in. And bring the feet forward to the front of the mat and exhale. Bring the backs of the hands together as you stand. Reach up and back, breathing gently in. And bring the hands to the heart. Exhale. And if you're doing stomach work, 10 abdominal exhalations. And bending your knees, come into Katasana, squeeze ankles and knees together.
and sink into the hips as you exhale. Keeping space around the neck, take the elbows further back. And see if you can press the knees a little further forward, the heels further back as you breathe out. Gently inhale once more here, stretching from the tailbone up to the hands. And then again fold forward over the legs and calmly breathe out. Lift the collarbones, pull the shoulders back as you inhale. And taking hands to the mat, make your way back to downward facing dog. In down dog, reach the right leg high, but keep the hips level. And holding there, press back through left calf and heel. Take another smooth breath in, press through the hands as you reach to the right toes. And then bending your right knee, turn and look under the right arm. As you breathe in, stretch up through the right knee and press through the right hand. And as you exhale, turn a little further and press back through the left knee and heel. On your next in-breath, level the hips, reach out through the right toes, and gently lower back to downward facing dog. Now raise the left leg high as you breathe in, so second side. And again, keep pressing down through the hands, but keep the neck soft. The head should feel like it's hanging. Take another breath in, pressing the chest towards the right foot, right heel to the mat. And then bend your left knee and turn out to the side as you breathe out. Again, taking a breath in, see if you can lengthen from the hands up to the left knee. And as you exhale, turn a little bit further, trying to anchor down through hands and right foot. Then level the hips, reach to the left foot as you breathe in, and gently lower back into downward facing dog. Move forward into plank as you breathe in, and lower to knees, stomach or push up, and gently breathe out, don't collapse. Come to your version of up dog as you breathe in. Remember here, just hands and feet on the mat, nothing else. And holding there, breathe out. Of course, if you're on the stomach or the knees, it's different. Take one more smooth breath in, pull the shoulders back, chest forward. And make your way back once more into downward facing dog. Settle there for a breath or two. Again, you might like to just bring a little movement into the body. And after your next out breath, take the right hand to the left calf, knee or ankle and see if you can take a little twist looking under the left arm. Take one more breath here, lengthen from left palm to left sit bone. And after breathing out, come back to the center. Settle for one breath here, trying to lengthen your exhalation. And then twist to the second side, left hand to right, knee, calf or ankle. Turn to look under the right arm, keeping the right elbow unlocked. Just keep breathing into the belly. One more exhalation here. And come back to center. Settle for a breath. Give your head a little roll side to side, softening the neck. Rest or move forward into plank. And drop your heels to the right as you breathe out. Come back to the center as you breathe in. And then take the heels to the left as you exhale. Come back to center. Calmly inhale. And lower to knees, stomach or push up and breathe out. Take your up dog as you breathe in. And holding there, gently exhale. Try to lengthen navel to throat, but broaden across the collarbones. And again, holding there, gently breathe out. Last in-breath here, perhaps going a little bit further. And press back into down face dog and exhale. Raise the heels as you breathe in. And then press the heels down as you breathe out. Lift the heels and the tailbone as you inhale, lengthening hands to hips. And as you breathe out, press the heels gently down. And once more, raise the heels looking forwards and make your way lightly to the front of the mat. Bending your knees, come back to Katasana as you breathe in. And sink down through the hips as you exhale. Stay there or raise the heels as you breathe in. And sink a little deeper as you breathe out. And straightening all the way up onto the toes. Stretch to the fingers as you breathe in. And lower the heels, hands to the heart, close your eyes and just take a couple of breaths. Nice, slow, steady breaths through the nose, in and out. Try to lengthen the exhalation, slowing your breath down. And after your next out breath, just turn sideways along your mat. And turning your feet out, sink down into the Katasana position, trying to bring hips and knees to the same height. Bring the hands to the inner knees as you breathe in. And then roll the shoulders, stretch across the upper back as you breathe out. Take the arms high, then wide. Lift the collarbones as you breathe in. And then bring the chin in, roll the shoulders and breathe out. Again, loop the hands as you inhale. And roll the shoulders as you breathe out. Arms high, then wide. Pull the fingers back as you inhale. And then roll the shoulders, stretch across the back and return to where you started. Bring the hands down, spin the heels wide as you breathe in. And holding there, just pull the shoulders back and see if you can make sure that the knees are unlocked but straight. Take another calm breath in here. And as you exhale, either stay there if it's already strong enough. Otherwise, start to bring the body forward, taking your head towards your mat. Either stay there or take the hands to interlace behind your back. And see if you can bring the shoulder blades a little closer. If you're taking this, make sure the heels of the hands stay together. Just another couple of slow breaths here, letting the legs and the shoulders relax. Last calm breath here. Make sure there's no tension in the face. And then gently release your hands back under the shoulders. Lift the collarbones and arch the spine. Then pull the front ribs up, chin to the throat, and stretch across the upper back. Bring your spine back to neutral. Take the right hand down under your face, left hand to the back of the left hip. And keeping your hips level, turn and look up over the left shoulder. Use your left hand pressing down to keep the hips steady as the shoulders turn further for the last breath. And after exhaling, do the same on the other side. Left hand down, right hand to the hip. And as you twist to the right, try to keep the head centered. So it's not a side bend, just a twist. Last breath here. Try and turn into the space left by the breath. Then again, bring the right hand down. Lift the collarbones, arch the spine. And bring the chin into the throat and exhale. Now keeping your left foot where it is, turn your right foot out and bring your body up, come into Baddha Konasana. See if you can lift up through the left side ribs. Press the left foot down as you reach to the left fingers. Take one more calm breath here. And after breathing out, bring your hands back down and do the other side. So spin the right foot out to where it started and bring the left foot to turn out to the side. Lift up through the right side ribs. And try to have your left thigh parallel to the mat. One more smooth breath here. And after breathing out, bring your hands back down and turn the feet parallel once more. Lift the collarbones, arch the spine. Then bring the chin into the throat and breathe out. Leaning into your hands, lift up to the tiptoes and just hold there as you breathe out. One more smooth breath. Try and press up between the shoulder blades. And then gently float the feet together. Stand all the way up. Reaching high, stretch up and back into the fingers. And bring the hands to the heart and gently breathe out. Then standing on your right foot, take the left heel to the buttock, holding ideally with both hands. And see if you can pull the shoulders and the left knee back. So we want to find a little stretch in the left thigh. See if you can squeeze the left knee inwards as well as pulling it back. Take one more calm breath here. And after breathing out, release the left foot to Asana. So foot to either toe tip, calf, or ideally inner thigh. Reach the arms high, lengthen up into the fingertips. And then bring the hands down in front of the heart. Pull the shoulders down, lift the collarbones up, left knee back. And then release the hands and the left foot, and we'll repeat that on the second side. So gripping your left toes down, bring your right heel to the buttock, ideally holding with both hands. And again, try to squeeze your right knee in as well as pulling it back. Try to pull the shoulders back as well. And lift up through the crown of the head, but feel like you're reaching down through the right knee. Just take one more calm breath here. And after you breathe out, release the foot into Asana. So again, you can be on tiptoe, foot to calf or foot to inner thigh. Just don't press against your knee. Once the foot's in place, reach the arms up, lengthen up through the fingertips, and then bring the hands down in front of the heart. Lift the collarbones as you take one more breath. And then release the hands and the right foot. And taking your feet apart once more. Sink down into a squat. If that's not good for you, you can just sit back and hug the knees to the chest. This time we're going to take the arms up just for a couple of breaths. Exhale once more here. Trying to pull the elbows back. And if you're comfortable to do so, from there you can move into Bakasana. So knees to armpits or shins to upper arms, whatever works for you. Just hold there for one or two more breaths. You might be in squat still, and that's fine. And then gently lower the feet, sit back down, and stretch your left leg out in front. Now, if you have sensitive knees, I want you to actually have both legs stretched out, but otherwise bring your right leg into a kneeling position. So coming into Virasana with the right leg. This posture is called Triangmukha Ekapada Paschimottanasana, 3 limbs facing 1 foot forward bend. So reach up into the fingers and then let the body gently fold forward. Now, if you're tight in the legs, just stay in a halfway forward position. And if you're really comfortable, you can start to bring the left elbow down. Make sure you're still reaching the crown of the head forward, so not just rounding the back, but lengthening the collarbones and head forward. Try and close your eyes here where there's no balance requirement. And focus on where you feel resistance in the body. With each calm exhalation, see if you can soften wherever that point may be. Keep the neck soft, releasing tension from the upper back and shoulders and neck. And after exhaling once more, just gently bring the body back up. Reach high to the hands, lengthening into the fingers. And press up through the palms as you breathe out. Then take another breath, raise the chin, stretch the throat. And gently bring your hands down.
Bring your right leg now so that you're hugging the shin into the chest. And from here we're going to take a twist to the right. So bring your left arm around the front of the knee, turn your upper body to the right, but try to keep both sit bones down. Katasana 3. If it's really easy, you can take your arm up and over the outside of the knee, which will give you a much deeper twist in the lower spine. Not so great if you've had a big meal recently. Give yourself just 1 or 2 more slow breaths. After your next exhalation, turn your head to look forward and gently unravel the body. Then drop your right knee out to the side. And taking your left hand to the inner left calf, turn your upper body a little to the right. You might, if you're opening the hips, you might like to pull the right knee back a little. Reach your right arm up. And as you breathe out, start to bring the left elbow down towards the mat. And try to keep your body in line with the left leg. So again, looking for a side stretch here. The hamstring stretch is just a secondary part. Try to maintain the alignment of the right arm, the torso, and the left leg. If you know a deeper variation, you can go into it for the last few breaths, but this is plenty. Take 1 more breath here. Softening all the way down the right side. And after breathing out, sit back up. Again, reach the arms up high. And then bring your arms down, stretch the right leg out in front. You might like to just press into the hands in Dandasana for a moment. If you're a bit more comfortable, try pressing into the hands and just lift the hips for a few breaths. From there, if you want, you can slide the hips back a little bit so they're a little higher off your mat. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. And then gently lower back down. And we'll repeat all of that on side 2. So keeping the right leg stretched out. Bring your left leg into a kneeling position if that's okay for your knees. If not, just stay with both legs straight. Take a moment just to settle so that the sit bones are as evenly weighted as possible. Then stretch up into your fingertips as you inhale and let the body slowly start to move forward as you breathe out. So again, don't be in a hurry. You might like to take a moment to tilt the tailbone back so the stretch is coming all the way from the tailbone. Staying on the hands is plenty. Only dropping down onto the elbows if you're really comfortable here. Try not to let the knees splay out. So we want to try and keep the knees not wider than the hips. Keep the shoulders and neck soft. Keep reaching forward through the crown of the head. And just make sure your right toes and knee are still pointing up, not out to the side. Just 1 more calm breath here. Allow the body to soften just a tiny bit further. And then sit back up. Stretch up to the fingers as you breathe in. And then interlacing fingers press up through the palms as you exhale. Lift up through the collarbones, press through the palms. And gently lower your arms down and bring your left leg so you're hugging the shin in towards the chest. Try to have just a little space between the foot and the thigh, but the left heel in close to the sit bone. And then we're twisting to the left, so bring the right arm around the front of your shin. Left hand just to the mat behind your hip and try and keep the spine as upright and straight as you can. As you turn to the left, lift the left ear slightly. And if you did on the first side, you might like to just lean back, free the stomach, and then take the right arm over to the outer left knee. Try to maintain that sense of the sit bones down. Each time you breathe in, lift up through the crown, As you breathe out, turn the body. Keep the right leg gently active. Just one more breath here. And after you exhale, turn to the right. Unravel the body. Then take your left leg out to the side. So again, if you like, you can pull the left knee slightly back. Then take your right hand down inside the right calf. Take your left arm up past your head. And again, try to keep your body in line with the right leg as you start to bring the left arm forward and lengthen all the way from the left sit bone to the left fingertips. If you tend to be a bit of a chronic back archer, pull the front ribs in a little bit. And if you're tight in the shoulders, focus on pulling your left elbow back. Eyes closed whenever possible. Try to maintain relaxed abdominal breathing. And if you took a deeper variation for the last few breaths on side one, do the same now on side two. Otherwise, just focus on relaxing and softening where you are. Last breath here. And after breathing out, again sit back up. Reach high to the hands as you breathe in. And then bring the arms back down and stretch your left leg out. Again, place your hands next to your hips. Simple Dandasana is enough, just rolling the shoulders back and pressing into the hands enough to make the hips feel a bit light. Those who want to, on palms or fists, see if you can lift the hips up, maybe slide them back, and then pick up the feet. And just hold for one more breath. And gently lower down. And bending your knees out to the sides, come into Baddha Konasana or Tarasana. So Baddha Konasana has the feet close into the hips. Tarasana, feet are forward about 40 centimetres. Roll your shoulders back, try to bring the rib cage forward between the upper arms. You might like to give the knees a little bit of a butterfly. Just holding here for a couple of breaths. Try to soften the inner hips. If your lower back's starting to round out, maybe just take the hands back behind you to support the lower spine. Take one more breath in here. And after you breathe out, you've got the option to stay there. But if you're comfortable to do so, lean back and try and pick up the feet, bringing them up towards the chest. It's enough to stay there, pressing the knees forward as the feet pull in. If you want to go further, take hold of your big toes, taking a trigger grip, and see if you can straighten the legs out to the side. A little tricky for the balance here. Keep your face relaxed, keep the shoulders down, whichever option you've taken. It's just a stretch for the inner hips. Remember, smiling makes it easier. One more breath. And if your feet are wide, see if you can bring them together without bending the legs, just for a breath or two. And then bending the knees. Everyone, just wrap your arms around the shins, feet to the mat. Squeeze your knees outwards for a moment. And then gently squeeze them in. And then gently rock back into a balance point. And closing your eyes in Brahmandasana. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. And see if you can find the point of floating in perfect balance. Take one more breath here. And after breathing out, gently bring your feet back down and make your way to lying on your back. And start with your feet about mat width apart, your knees together. Rest your hands on your belly.
See if you can take a couple of relaxed abdominal breaths. And try to feel the breath moving down towards the sacrum in the back of the body as well as moving in the front. Take one more breath here. And then taking your arms out to the side, straight if you have space, cactus arms if you need. Bring the feet together and either keep them there or ideally bring your knees up towards the chest. Take a deep breath in. And holding your breath, look left, knees right. Look right, knees left. Look left, knees right. Look right, knees left. Look left, knees right. Look right, knees left. Knees up and breathe out. And then bring your feet hip width apart. Stretch your arms over your head. And as you breathe in, lift the hips high. And then lower down as you exhale. Again, lift up as you breathe in. Try to keep the feet flat and hip width, parallel. And gently lower down as you breathe out. Third time, lift the hips, perhaps going a tiny bit higher. Keep hips, knees and feet in line. And then lower down and exhale. And bring your arms down by your sides. When you feel ready, lift the hips, interlace your hands behind the back and come into second bridge position. So again, here we want to try and keep the heels of the hands together. Once the hands are comfortably down, try to lift the sternum, collarbones towards the chin. At the same time, try to move the base of the skull away from the shoulder blades so you're lengthening and gently stretching the back of the neck. Take one more breath. And after breathing out, gently lower down. And again, just rest for a couple of breaths. You can move the body a little if you'd like, rocking the knees or swaying the hips, or just stay still, whatever feels better for you at this point. And when you're ready, you can repeat first bridge if you prefer, just lifting the hips with the arms over the head. Or you can lift up, take second bridge again with the opposite thumb on top. And if you're comfortable there, and you have a strong lower back, you might like to come into third bridge with the heels of the hands under the sacrum. Make sure your thumbs and fingers are all out to the sides here. You can keep pressing through the feet if necessary, but if it's really comfortable, let the hips just rest in the hands. And you can either stay there for the last couple of breaths, or if you'd like, you can lift up into Asana, the upturned bow. Just do what feels right for you. Just the last couple of breaths in your arch. Remember to keep the face relaxed. After your next exhalation, just gently lower down. If you've been in third bridge or the arch, give your wrists a stretch. Then placing one hand on each knee, bring your knees together so that the thighs are vertical. Let the knees hang forward gently. And then keeping your knees together, start to make little circles. And go back the other way. You should feel your sacrum making little circles on the mat. And only if you're comfortable to do stronger stomach work. Now come into a half sit-up position. Press the lower back flat. See if you can reach out into the fingertips and keep the chin to the throat. So we're not poking the chin forward, but rather pulling it back. And either choose to stay there or stretch the legs out to about 45 degrees, keeping again the lower back flat. Remember, as I said earlier, smiling makes it easier. One more breath. And then bring your knees back into the body Gently lie down and rock side to side so you're rolling across the kidneys. Relaxed abdominal breathing here to help release any tension from the lower spine. Make sure your face and shoulders are also relaxed. Then gently bring your feet back down to the mat. And keeping your left foot where it is, bring the right leg up and over and see if you can hook your foot under the left calf into the Garudasana position. And again, with your arms out to the sides in cactus arms or arms straight, just start to gently rock your hips side to side. It should be a really fluid movement. You're not trying to feel a deep stretch, just going to the point of resistance on either side and then coming back the other way. Just relaxed breathing the whole time. There's two different options we could take here, but for today, if you want to go further now, drop your knees to the right. You might like to bring the knees up a little higher or shuffle the hips back a little. Then see if you can hold the knees down and reach back into the left hand. See if you can feel a stretch in the outer left hip and left side of the waist. There's no right or wrong way to position the head. You can look straight up, you can look to the right or to the left, just making sure that whatever you do is comfortable. Keep gently reaching out to the left hand. If your arm's not on the floor, it doesn't matter. But try to keep your knees down. Let your breath slow right down. And just focus on relaxing wherever you feel the most resistance in the body. Take one more breath here. And after you breathe out, just gently return to the center. Unravel your legs and just rest for a couple of breaths until the body feels like it's come back to neutral. When you feel ready, take the left leg over the right. So repeating on the other side. Again, arms, cactus arms or straight, depending on how much space you have. And begin again just with that gentle rocking of the knees side to side. So not holding at all, not forcing anything. You can stay with that, or if you're comfortable, see if you can drop the knees over to the left. Hold them down with the left hand and reach back into the right hand. The two sides might feel quite different. It's relatively normal. Our bodies are generally not symmetrical, and our lifestyle tends to exacerbate that. Again, try to maintain relaxed breathing. Soften where you feel the most tension. It may well be a different place to last side, or to the last time you did this posture. Try to slow the breath right down without force. So just gradually, gently deepening, particularly the length of your out breath. Just the last few breaths here. Make sure there's no tension around the shoulders or the jaw. And After your next calm exhalation, again just return to centre, unravel the legs, and rest with the hands on the belly, the feet maybe out to the mat width and knees dropping together. A nice way just to create space around the sacrum. When you feel ready, stretch out into fingers and toes, lengthen through your whole body. And then take your arms down by your sides, palms facing up, arms maybe 30 degrees away from the body, and settle into your Shavasana position. Of course, if you prefer to sit, that's fine as well. Make your body comfortable, symmetrical. Once you've settled and made any little adjustments, resist the temptation to fidget or move and just remain still. Be aware of the sensations of the body, but not responding to them. Take your inner focus into the heart space. So eyes closed, just an inner focus in Anahata chakra. And start to take Ujjayi Pranayam, the balance of in and out breath, at a pace that feels comfortable for you. So 8 seconds in and out is often a good average starting place, but if you need to take a shorter rhythm, 5 or 6 in and out, that's fine. If you know you have a longer breath cycle, you can maybe stretch it out to 10 or 12 or whatever's appropriate for you. But make sure that there's no stress in the breath. If it starts to feel forced or shaky, or if you feel anxious, take a shorter rhythm again. Just maintaining a balance of prana and apana, inhalation and exhalation, energizing and softening. Try to take the breath to places where perhaps it doesn't normally go, a little wider, a little deeper. As you exhale, see if perhaps you can squeeze a tiny bit more breath out of the lungs, creating more space for the next in-breath. Once you've found a rhythm that's comfortable for you, perhaps let the counting drop away and just sense the breath, maintaining approximately the same rhythm, but without counting. Focus on further refining the quality of your breath. Make it a little smoother, a little more even from beginning to end. Whenever your mind starts to drift off to another time or place, it's important not to get frustrated in any way. Equally important not to let the mind just drift off, but instead just keep bringing your focus back again and again and again to your breath. For the last minute or so, if you'd like to do so, you can add a short pause of just 1 or at most 2 seconds at the top and bottom of the breath. So it shouldn't feel like you're holding your breath, but rather you're just creating a moment of stillness as the breath turns. A place for the mind to also rest in stillness. Maintain that steady inner focus to the best of your ability for the last minute or so in your version of Ujjayi Pranayam.
without rushing. Just finish the cycle you're on, and after completing it with an exhalation, relinquish all control, all effort, and just allow your breath to find its own rhythm. Allow it to perhaps settle at the abdominal centre, gradually becoming a little softer and quieter of its own accord. And see if you can maintain the same awareness of your breath, but without any involvement. Just passively observing its rise and fall. As the breath becomes quieter, perhaps recognizing little spontaneous gaps at the top, but particularly at the bottom of the breath. And in those gaps, allow the mind to also dissolve into stillness or silence. Come to resting in simple awareness. Resting body, breath and mind for the last couple of minutes. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sharike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om. So feel free to stay resting as long as feels appropriate for you. When you do decide to move, do so firstly by reconnecting with the movement of breath, making it a little longer and deeper. When you're ready, start to gently move your fingers and toes, coming back to the outward movement of the body. And when you're ready, stretch your arms over your head, lengthening from toe tips to fingertips. From there, bend your knees, roll to your right side, and rest with your head on the outstretched arm for a few breaths. And your own time, make your way back to a comfortable seat. And once you're sitting again, just close your eyes and take a few moments to get used to being upright and to acknowledge how you are after the practice in body, mind and heart. And see if you can stay connected to that sense of inner stillness once you leave your practice space. As you breathe in, take your arms up past your head, lengthening through the spine and into the hands. And as you exhale, bring your hands to the crown, the brow, the throat and the heart. And turning awareness down to rest within the heart space. Just gently release forward one last time. And then sit gently back up. Namaste. Thank you as always for sharing the practice with me and allowing me to share it with you. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day or evening, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon. Thanks very much.